Hey guys, Ethan here from Maverick Campers, and today I'm running you through the handover for our Viper range. So starting at the front here, we've got the tunnel boot across the front of your Viper here. That's all accessible. That's at handover, will have all your user manuals, your wheel chocks, your stabilizer leg tool, and a couple other little bits and pieces in there. We've also got in here's your fridge slide. That'll hold a 96 litre dual zone fridge freezer. As well as at the back there, you've got a light switch for your fridge slide boot, as well as all your power connections there. Going down a little bit further, we've also got your 10 amp outlet, as well as your drop down table here with your light above it, as well as your external TV connection and your external speakers. Then over here, we have our lift up outdoor pantry space, as well as our slide out pantry. At the back, we've also got the storage box for our annex poles. In here, we've got our full stainless steel slide out kitchen. Then once we get to the end, we lift it up, pull it forward that last little bit, and then that locks it in place. We then can spin these around to either be a wind guard or act as an extra prep bench. Lift up your dish rack. We plug in the cable on the side here for your kitchen light, and you're all set up. We can then also convert our wind guard around to be a prep bench, dish rack. We've got our extra little prep bench here, as well as our cutlery drawer, and another handy little storage drawer for your larger utensils. Then under here just gives you access to under the sink. We've then also got our kitchen stabilizer leg underneath, which drops down so that way you can support the kitchen. In here, we have our gas line as well as our white flexible hose, which drops out down the bottom to connect up your water to for your sink. We then also have your gas bayonet, which pushes in down here, and you push that in and quarter turn it, and that connects up your gas for the stove. Then at the back of the van, we have your 2 spare tires. You've got your reverse camera up the top, as well as your rear bike rack receiver, which is rated to 120 kilos. Coming around the side, we then have your 15 amp inlet. To plug that in, you grab your 15 amp lead, lift up the flap, plug it in, and that'll connect up your mains power. You then also have your Truma hot water service cover. To remove that, you get your 2 fingers, push in, pull back on the little clip at the top there, and that'll pop off. You don't want to lose these as they are quite expensive to replace. You then got a little hatch door here, which accesses into your Red Arc battery management system, as well as some fuses and circuit breakers. Under here, you'll also have an external solar input. You then got your rear water tank fill point, which is 120 litres, as well as your mains water connection. Up the top, we've got your external shower, as well as your external shower box. You've then got your front water tank fill point, which is once again 120 litres. Coming down, you've got your Dometic toilet cassette, as well as the other side of the tunnel boot, as well as down the bottom here is where your generator slide is, but at the moment we're storing the canvas annex in there. At the front here, we have our 2 20-litre jerry can holders, as well as our stainless steel diesel tank for the diesel heater with your fill point on the side. At the front, we have our Cruisemaster DO35 hitch, our tap on the drawbar, as well as our ArcXO 750 jockey wheel. In the other boot here, we've got your gas bottle holders, which are designed to take either a 9 kilo or a 4.5 kilo bottle. Then at the top here, you've got your changeover between the 2 bottles. Then also got your clothesline, which slots in there, and we push that up to set up your clothesline. To set up the roof, you've got a latch on each corner. This will vary, as well as raising the roof internally, depending on if you have an electric roof. When it comes to entering the van, for your entry step, tilt forward and pull, and then you've got your door that has a latch on the back. With the entrance door, you've got a little lever here that you can actually lift up to separate the door off to be a screen door. That way you can keep the bugs out and allow the breeze to still come through. Once we're inside the van, we've got 2 D-loops at the front here we have to undo in order to raise the roof. Once the roof's up, we then go to the rear to do the same thing. Then at the back of the van, we do the same thing, except I find it helpful to lay back and push up on the roof like that. Once the roof's up, remembering to put our 4 safety pins back in place to prevent the roof coming down in case something drops on top of it. When lowering the roof, we always want to make sure we lower it from the rear section first. Just in case you do forget, we've got a handy sticker both front and rear of the van. When it comes to setting up the rear bed module, to drop your tyres down, you've got 2 threaded handles that will unthread and come out, and then 2 over center latches. The tyres will then drop down. I always put the threaded handles back in their holders. That way we don't lose them. We then got the 3 latches at the back that we undo. The gas struts lift that one up. Then you got your handle here, pulls and slides to allow the walls to open up. Then you've got your 2 latches in the top corners before your main bed base comes down. You've then also got your back wall that comes in. We also have your over center latch here that holds the top of the roof down to the wall, and your sliding bolt. You can also put a padlock in through here, that way no one can get in through the back. Once we've unfolded the back, we then come inside to set up the mattress. So you grab the end of the mattress and then push it forward. And that sets up your king size bed. To set up your electric awning, you've then got a switch inside above the doorway. We flick that on to the open position and the awning starts to come out. So you just support it as it comes out, and then you've got little legs tucked up in there that will then drop down and you can adjust the heights. Then you do the same at the rear. And adjust your heights, and then you wait for it to roll out and just keep moving the legs forward as they go, and then it'll automatically stop once it's all the way out. Once you're inside, you have your Aussie Traveller windows and blinds the whole way around. You go from your midgie mesh to your night screen. Otherwise, you can open it up completely to have unrestricted airflow. You've also got your Dometic gas 2-burner stove with your isolation tap down below for the gas supply, as well as your glass top sink. Then we've got our Red Arc Red Vision screen inside. As we can see, the battery's at 100%, and it shows us all our inputs and our outputs from the battery. Then we've also got the smartphone app, which does the exact same thing, just from being around the comfort of a campfire. Then also got your internal DVD and radios, as well as your internal TV points and a double pole power point below. For your Truma hot water service, at the foot of the bed in the 16C, you have your controller. If you switch it down for gas supply, that's going to heat it up to 70 degrees. Or if you switch it up, it's going to do for 60 degrees. If you're using it on 240 volt, you leave the switch in the middle and the power point below the bed, make sure that's turned on, and that'll heat your water up on 240 volt, which does take a little bit longer. When using the diesel heater, you simply press and hold the power button until you get H and a number come up. Then you can use the arrows on the side to adjust the heat and fan speed up and down. When you're done using the heater, to then turn it off, you simply press and hold the button until the off comes on, then the heater's shut down. Now it needs about 3 to 5 minutes to do its shutdown process as it cools itself down to prevent soot building up in the exhaust. In your ensuite, you've got your Dometic cassette toilet, your shower, as well as your above head shower holder. You've got your shower curtain, as well as behind your shower curtain, you've got your sink. You do also have an exhaust fan in the roof there, which you twist the dial to open it up. So with your control panel, you've got your main power button there, which turns all your main power on and off. Lights will give you power to all your lights. Fridge sends power to your fridge slide. Sockets gives you power obviously to your 12-volt sockets, USB points, as well as your electric awning. TV, DVD sends power to your internal and external TV points, as well as your speakers and DVD player. And then pump sends power to your water pump. You then got across the top here, all your resettable fuses. So if something's ever not working, they're the first point of call to check. You've then also got your water tank sensors across the top there. That'll tell you what level your water tanks are reading at. You may be wondering what this switch here at the base of the bed is for. This is actually a changeover switch. So what this is it will allow you to go from your mains power, where you plug into the side of the van, to then running the air conditioner and your power points off of your inverter itself. All you have to do is simply switch it over to inverter, and then you've got a switch on the side of the inverter there. That'll then send power to all your power points, including your air conditioner. Written on some of your power points, as well as here on the air conditioner, is dual supply. What that means is the air conditioner and the power points listed can run off both the inverter power or off of mains power. So when you're on mains power, if you ever find it's not working, be sure to check that your switch is switched to mains, as well as that your circuit breaker for the mains is switched all the way up. The same with for your inverter. If it's not working, ensure you're on inverter, and there's the same style of switch on the inverter itself. We also have various light switches throughout the van. So these ones here control the ensuite. So they'll either be your little nighttime light down the bottom with the blue Maverick logo, or your main light in the ensuite itself. Down by the entrance door as well, we have your internal main control of your lights, as well as your doorway light and your external lights. Inside, you've still got heaps of storage, including under the lounge. Before we take off on any trip, we want to make sure we're checking a couple of things before we leave. We want to make sure once we're hitched on that we've got the jockey wheel folded up, as well as your DO35 pin locked on. We also want to make sure all our stabiliser legs are folded up and locked in place, as well as all of our external hatch doors, including the main door of the caravan, is all locked. Before you take off as well, you want to make sure you've checked all your wheel nuts and make sure they're torqued to 135 Newton meters, as well as your shock bolts, and just do an overall check over of the van to make sure all your nuts and bolts are tight.